I was a forklift driver when I first started having problems with my vision. I worked at a rice mill in Stuttgart. I was a forklift driver, and I started having problems with my eyesight, so I went to the optometrist. I thought that was the only thing that was going on, was that maybe I needed some glasses or something, because I know being a diabetic, it does affect your vision. So I went to an optometrist, and he did prescribe me some glasses, and I went back to work, but I almost ran somebody over on my forklift. So my supervisor sent me home, and after that, I would get what I thought were super bad migraines. I mean, like to the point to where I couldn't stand any light. I would just lay around all day with my eyes closed, because at that point, nobody knew, the optometrist and then the people at the emergency room, because I kept going back and forth to the emergency room because my head would be hurting so bad, my eyes would be, I couldn't stand it. They didn't know what was going on. So that went on for maybe a month or so, me back and forth, and spring break came around 2018, and I decided that I would drive my kids to Branson, even though I had already been experiencing these, what I thought were migraines and vision problems, but I had glasses, and I knew that I had been driving, so I didn't think it was nothing new. Honestly, it was by the grace of God that we made it to Branson and back home, because on the way, you know how kind of like when the sun's setting and it's just super bright? I missed the exit because I didn't see it. It just was so bright, I couldn't see to know when to merge off the highway. But I was like, I promised my kids we were going to Branson. I do not like breaking promises, so hey, we going. So I went, and the headaches were already bad. And I believe we came back March the 28th, and I had my first eye surgery April the 9th. I went back to the emergency room when I came back maybe a couple days later, and there was a travel nurse that was there, and she put me in front of an eye chart, and she said, "We don't have the equipment here to help you. There's nothing we can do." And at that point, I thought my life was over. Like, just hearing somebody tell me something that we actually take for granted every day, that I may never have it again, was the most traumatic thing as far as physically that I've ever experienced. I just feel like being here, the only thing that outside of my kids that been keeping me afloat is being able to be at WSB, because it is giving me something to look forward to every day, a reason to get up every day. It's giving me a social life. It's giving me some training that I never thought that I would ever possess again. I actually know how to use a computer better now than I did when I was sighted. I feel like I missed out on a lot of things because of my visual impairment, but I feel like if I had never found WSB, I wouldn't be looking forward to the future.
A dream business. I raised the profits. It was a science. It was vending machines. It was candy. There's a science in it. You know, if you have something that you're not selling, you put it next to a big seller. People will look at it every time they buy that Snickers or that Reese Cups, and then you start selling, start moving other product that's not really selling. Did that for about 7 years. It was an everyday job. Early in the morning, I was on call, I had drivers. I did most of the work myself, me and maybe one other person. I usually had a driver. My sons worked with me. 4 of my sons worked with me. When they get out of school or whatever, they come help me fill machines and clean machines. I really liked it. Tragedy struck, and I lost my business. And my kids moved back with their mother. and I was in Jeffersonville, Indiana by myself, and I became lost. I lost everything I lost my dream. You know, it's hard to lose a dream. I ended up contacting the VR, Vocational Rehabilitation in Louisville, Kentucky, and got signed up. And we were doing some career exploration. I told them I wanted to do something with computers, and WSB came up on the radar. So I started doing some research in it, started calling, speaking to people here, and next thing you know, I found a direction again. I was happy to find it. I was happy to get out of bed. Started finding my way again. I mean, I wanted to learn computers. I didn't know anything about them at all when I got here. I've learned how to use computers, how to use assistive technology to use computers. And now I'm learning to teach other visually impaired and blind people how to use computers. And it's really rewarding. And I thought I would never learn. I thought it would be so hard, but WSB has a good program. I've learned a lot, and I'm passing that forward and trying to teach other visually impaired people what I've learned.
My eye doctor told me about WSB and how coming to WSB, it's a pre-vocational school to get the blind and visually impaired back in the workforce. And I've worked all my life. That's all I've ever wanted to do. And I didn't know how to do it, so I came here originally to be able to go back to work and just feel better about myself, because when I went blind, I didn't know how to be blind. I didn't even know how to use a cane. I didn't know anything, of course, about being blind, because I had been sighted all my life. And I was here, I believe I was here for about a year and a half. I don't really remember exactly how long I was here. But we discovered that I can't hold a job anymore. And it's not due to blindness, it's due to my short-term memory loss. I can't even remember how to get to my bathroom half the time, much less how to get to work and back. Anyway, I ended up coming back for the group home because David had told me they were going to open a group home here, and as I said, this is home to me. I don't want to be, there's nowhere else I want to be. You know, if it wasn't for WSB, I'd be in a homeless shelter somewhere.
WSB is a community. When you're here, you don't feel like you have a disability. The best way I can describe it, and I've described this before with other people and they agree, you finally feel normal again. You just feel like a regular person here with the support that you need and the staff that you need to just concentrate on what you need to do to move on with your life. You're not spending all the time trying to explain what you need as a blind person. If you've lost your sight, or you know somebody who's lost their sight or is blind, it's difficult at first to help them. What information do they need? How do you direct them in the grocery store? What kind of things are helpful to them and which aren't? But here, they know that, so you're not trying to explain to somebody how to help you. They all seem to get how to help people here.
This is a blind culture. This is a blind culture, and it's comforting.
I'm just looking forward to the group home because I'll finally be home.
I thought that I was out here excelling and going above and beyond. But when I got here, to see people that are total blind do more and do things better than I could, I was like, well, would you look at here?